Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, a protest by Tigrayan refugees in Sudan. They have gone through a lot. It seems that they're running out of patience. How long will they continue suffering? Secondly, and importantly, an interview by top Tigray General Tadase Varede, Revelations by Varede. Revelations about Tigray generals attending TPLF meetings, revelations about who invited Americans to mediate between TPLF wings. Is Tigray Security Force uh, ready to give any role to the US to mediate between Gita Choreda and Debretsion? Details for you in this video. Let's start from Sudan, viewers. When war broke out in Tigray in 2020, tens of thousands of Tigrayans crossed into Sudan. At one time, the number was around 60, over 60,000. So the refugees are at camps. War came to an end 2 years ago. Still, the Tigrayan refugees are in Sudan. Their return could not be ensured. IDPs are gradually returning. IDPs have returned to Salamti. Others have returned to uh, Raya. The IDPs to Western Zone, still at camps in Shire and other parts of Tigray. Refugees could not be brought back. It's because of slow implementation of Pretoria deal. It's because the main issue is unresolved, and that is the status of Western Tigray. Most of these refugees are from Western Tigray. Where will they return? Because Western Tigray is still under the control of Amhara forces and Ethiopian National Defense Force. The Tigrayan refugees have protested in Sudan. It happened around 24 hours ago at Koba refugee camp. Dozens of Tigrayan refugees protested. They chanted slogans saying that they are suffering. They have suffered a lot. Government must ensure their speedy return to their homes. Yes, these refugees have gone through a lot. They suffered a lot. TPLF elite is fighting for more political power in Tigray while people are suffering in Tigray, outside Tigray. Secondly, viewers, revelations by General Varede Tadase Varede. Tadase Varede gave a long interview. It was published last night, more than 2 hour long interview. 3 days ago, it was Debretsion who was interviewed 2 days ago, who was interviewed again, a long interview. Both were interviewed by female anchors. Tadase Varede made some revelations. A few months ago, if you remember, Tigray generals attended a TPLF's internal committee meeting. I criticized that move by Tigray generals. If you remember, regular viewers know I said that Tigray security forces should not attend political meetings of political parties. Tadase Varade, in his interview, confirmed that Tigray military commanders attended that meeting as observers, and their comments at the meeting influenced final decision. Maybe they shouldn't have been part of the meeting, but he said that even had they not been part of the meeting, the outcome would have been the same. But I think he disapproved the participation of TDF commanders in TPLF's meeting held a few months ago. But he should have raised questions back then. He should have opposed the participation of Tigray military commanders in TPLF meeting. I said that, by the way, back then. Secondly, Tedase where they acknowledged that Tigray security forces cannot fully isolate themselves from politics. TSF, Tigray Security Force, politics, security are intertwined. It's difficult to for TSF just to uh, completely distance itself from politics, but that could lead to anarchy. TSF will have to fulfill its responsibility. Its responsibility is that it should ensure peace, security, law and order in Tigray. For that, it needs to make decisions. Dase said that his decisions are not being liked by both parties. Both parties means both TPLF wings. Decisions like banning of public street political gatherings, decisions like ban on appointment and dismissal of government officials. Yes, his decisions are being criticized, not by both parties, mainly by TPLF Gita Choreta group. But he said that Tigray security forces are making some tough decisions. Decisions will be criticized. TSF is trying to keep itself free from political interference, free from political bias or support towards any of the two parties. Importantly, Tedase where they criticized federal government and US intervention to solve political conflict in Tigray. Very interesting. US ambassador to Ethiopia visited Tigray a few days ago, more than a week ago, Arvind Masinga. He stayed in Tigray for 3 days. Then Mike Hammer visited Ethiopia. He called Sadkan, Debratsion, and Getachew to Addis Ababa. Meetings were held. He did not call Varade, by the way. I could not confirm any meeting between Varade and Mike Hammer. So Varade is not happy with US intervention in Tigray's internal political affairs. He said it's unfortunate. The intervention of federal government and Americans in Tigray's internal politics is unfortunate. That is why I think Mike Hammer could not play any role, major role, and he just departed. I said that Americans were not in a position to resolve political chaos in Tigray. Why? One of the reasons is that Tedase is opposing it. He wants to be the main man in Tigray. He wants to make big decisions. He doesn't want federal government to intervene. He doesn't want Americans to intervene. So who will make a final decision? Tigray security force, who he is in charge of. And maybe he's not happy because Mike Hammer did not invite him to Addis Ababa. No meeting between Tedase and Mike Hammer. Who invited, by the way, Americans? Sadkan group, I think. Sadkan is close to Americans. Sadkan, Getachew invited Americans because Sadkan, Getachew have been saying that Pretoria deal is in danger. There could be resumption of war. TPLF Debratsion is planning a war. They just briefed Americans that, and Americans panicked. They immediately came to Ethiopia, Mike Hammer. But here, when they came to Ethiopia, they knew that issue is political. So they left without working for a political solution. Lastly, Tedase Warade said that he will ensure that there is no threat to peace and security in Tigray. No matter what happens, he will ensure that Tigray is united. The priorities should be the return of IDPs and refugees, restoration of Tigray's borders, And for that, Tigray security force will continue its activities. That is what its mandate is. Tadase is emerging as a key player in Tigray. It's like he has imposed a curfew in Tigray. Political government, interim government has been paralyzed. EPLF, I think, happier than Gitacho with Tadase Varede's decisions. Thank you.